Welcome back to ALR round 4 for Tier 2. My name is Ross Thorm. I'm a Tier 2 driver and I'm also commentating on this. This is the feature race, so it's reverse grid in the order of the results from the sprint race. So we have Refract on pole and we're going to get going straight away. It is a rolling start for the feature race, which spreads the cars out a little bit more and gives these guys who didn't perform so well a bit more of a chance to build up a gap and get a better result in this 40-minute feature race. It's normally 40 minutes, it's actually going to be 6 laps around the Nord. Oh, something's already happened. Refract is off, Harry's off, Ben's off, but it looks like Ben has taken the lead ahead of Harry and Payan. Payan, of course, is one of the championship contenders. As Ben goes off, all 3 go off. Oh, what is happening here? Oh no, and that means Hims took the lead and he goes off. What's going on? I did not see any of this from the back of the grid where I started, but it looks like Ben has, in all this chaos, despite going off twice by the looks of things, he is in the lead, trying to hold off Payan, and Andy Winters has managed to pick through the pieces and go up into 3rd. As we have the top 3 all pretty close as we go through this very high speed section of the track. 2 of them are the Vantages, who do not have an advantage here, and that is why Payan is all over the back of both of them as we approach Death Corner. 3 wide round here is not going to go well. Actually, they all keep it on the track, which is mighty impressive, and Ben keeps hold of P1 for now, and Payan, even though it looks like he got better exit, couldn't do anything just there. But is he going to try a look? He is having a look down the inside here, and it looks like he's got... Oh, I was just about to say it looked like he had... Oh, this is all a bit messy for Ben here. So yeah, Payan does have the lead there. BO lost it, and he's dropped all the way outside the top 8. Andy up into P2, and Woozy taking advantage of all this chaos to close the gap, and he has joined them in the top 3. No sign of the podium finishes. Oh, Woozy's off now. I was about to say, no sign of the podium finishes in the top 8 just yet, but we do have a long way to go. We do have a queue of cars right behind Tap, including the 2 McLarens, and Hims, who was, for about a second, leading the race. Everyone is starting to spread out a little bit now through the more technical part of the track in the north of Nord. Looks like Funk made a mistake somewhere. Yeah, you can hear it, but I'm not going to go back and see what happened, because if we rewound to every trip in the wall, we'd be here all day. We had DDK doing much better in the sprint race. He's in P5 at the moment. Had a bit of a shaky season so far, DDK. He could have potentially had a podium at Blue Moon, but ran out of fuel. But apart from that, has not really agreed with this McLaren. It's a good car. It got a buff as well in the recent update, but he isn't performing as well as he did in the Mazda RX last season. As it looks like I have Owen once again right behind me, trying to get past as we go up this hill. Again, like I said, it's not really an overtaking zone. There's only really one line through these corners, unless you brake massively. But no, I managed to keep hold of P7, and Owen and Chris almost definitely had to lift there to avoid contact. It looks like Owen and Chris are having a battle now. Further back, Turbo is muscling his way around as Owen goes off the track. Turbo muscles his way around Jack, and the order of these 4, who all seem to be incredibly close on pace, but further back the grid at the moment, has changed completely. Let's go back to the front and see how Payan's doing. Well, actually, Payan's away, and Andy's got Woozy all over the back of him. The weather here, there were rain clouds in the sky. They hadn't hit the track at this point, but we didn't know if it was going to hit the track before the end of lap 1 or not. So at this point it was a very uncertain time of the race. Payan's also on the softs as well, by the way, which is why he's able to drive away from everyone at the moment. But yeah, no rain on the track as of yet, and actually, I'll give you a bit of a spoiler, it doesn't end up raining. So it is going to be all about strategy and managing these tyres as Woozy goes wide once again, which is going to allow DDK to close up to him a little bit. Absolutely chaotic first part of the lap, all around. But it looks like as we are a couple of corners away from the main straight, Mercedes and the McLaren both have pretty decent straight line speed, but unless Woozy can get a really good final couple of corners before the straight, I think DDK might have his number here. Oh, that's not going to help making a slide out of that corner. And you could just see Andy going off just in front of them. Is that going to distract them? As this fight for P3 now becomes the fight for P2. They are on the straight now. And DDK is 100% in the slipstream right there. You can see how far ahead Payan's managed to get. It looks like Chris is overtaking me as well, further back, but let's stick with this battle. It's going to be a late move. Oh, and I don't know if there was a bit of contact there, but that should have been quite an easy pass for DDK, and it went all wrong, and now he's potentially going to get overtaken by Andy, and we've got Tap in the wall out of absolutely nowhere. He just completely loses it, which promotes me into P5. Managed to get past Chris, which I completely forgot about. So we must have been playing the slipstream game. He obviously passed me a bit too early in the straight, which allowed me to get into his slipstream and get past him, which is very fortunate, to be honest. So, as we start lap 2, we've still got Payan comfortably in the lead. Woozy off track once again in this part of the but he's still in second quite comfortably, ahead of DDK, who's been in the wall, Andy, who's been in the wall. Me, I'm just making my way through the field and trying to hold off the faster guys behind me, and that includes Chris, who's all over the back of me, trying to find a way around every which corner. Maybe trying to scare me into a mistake, but I don't look at my rear mirrors, I look at the radar. As you can see, the clouds are making it really dark on track. I had to take a compromise line into that corner. We've got Jack, my teammate, just behind as well, so he's making his way through the field, and Owen's dropped back to 8th. Approach death corner. Get through it just fine. Yep, and then we got Jack in 7th, Owen in 8th. Hims has obviously had another mistake somewhere. He's dropped all the way back to 9th. And Jevo, the race 1 podium sitter, he had pole position. He's made pretty slow progress. And then we got Ben and Refract and Tap and Funk all having major... Oh, he's gone on into intermediates. He took the gamble. I did not know that. And it looks like Mike's Mini Smiley has left the session as well. Yeah. So Funk, Andy got a 3-second penalty for crossing the pit limiter, so he's going to be going incredibly slow. Probably going to finish last there. So let's join the front. So Payan, this is exactly what he needs out of the feature race to try and salvage a good result after a very disappointing sprint where he scored 0 points. Woozy, despite we saw him go off track maybe 3 or 4 times, he's still in 2nd place. He is on the mediums as well, so it's showing that he definitely has the pace here. But he does have a queue of cars behind him now. Oh, he goes wide once again. Very easy for DDK, and Andy goes through as well. Woozy is outside of the top 4 as a result. And now we're starting to catch up. I'm having to drive incredibly defensively here to keep Chris behind. As you see, he's still right on my tail. But it looks like he might be getting the move done here. actually has got the outside of that corner, so that compromises him a lot. He's into the barriers, which allows Jack and Owen to get past. This is why it's better to just bide your time in the Nordschleife and use the... There's not many genuine overtaking spots where you can go side by side, as Hims is going to try and overtake him now as well. But if it gets wrong, and if you're not used to racing offline around these corners, it's just so easy to go into the wall because you're just taking too much momentum and you just slide off the track, which is what happened there with Chris. And the race 1 winner is going to get overtaken by the pole sitter for Nordschleife, by the looks of things, with Gerbo all over the back of him. He gets away with it for now. Let's see. Jack is... oh. We have more battling between Woozy and Andy. Woozy is back into the top 3. He's managing to drive away from Andy a little bit here. Oh, Woozy's off the track once again. I don't know how he's still in the top 3 after going off track maybe 6 times at this point. Now I'm getting under pressure from my own teammates, so we're going to have to try and coordinate a pass here. That doesn't mess us both up. Easier said than done. Andy's off track. Oh no, he looked like he was about to go off track, but managed to stay on. I don't know. As we've got a couple more corners before the long straight. DDK's looks like he's getting caught a little bit here as well. Andy all over the back of Woozy here. He just needs to be patient because he'll be able to overtake him on the straight if he stays this close, despite the pace disadvantage of the Vantage. Jack actually lost a bit of momentum there as well. He must have made a mistake, but let's stick with Andy. I wonder if Payan's going to pit this lap as well and do 4 laps on the medium since he is on the softs. Yep, see, even though he's in his slipstream, Andy is just getting dragged along. He can't actually make a pass on Woozy. Let's see, as Payan is doing a 3rd lap on those softs. Look at how worn they are. They're over 50%. So this last lap is going to be quite torturous for Payan, and he's just going to have to focus and keep it planted. DDK has a great opportunity to catch up here. Woozy maintains P3, Andy P4, but everyone here is fairly close now. I'm P5, Jack's catching back up in P6. Owen, Chris, and Gerbo still hasn't managed to get past him in P9, with Hims quite a distance back. And then everyone else is really spread out back here, including Tap, who's put on wet tyres. Is that right? And it looks like Funk has left the session as well. So let's keep up with Woozy. Or is he driving away from Andy right now? Well, not if he's twitching out of the corners like that, he's not. Everyone is incredibly close together here. Especially these 3. You've probably got the four of the fastest drivers in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Especially around Nordschleife. I'm the one that's having to hold them all back. As we approach Death Corner, are they all going to be able to get through it? Yes, no problem for these tier 2 drivers. Looks like Owen's actually holding them all back a little bit. Jack's managed to get away. And what's happening with Andy? He is all over the back of Woozy once again. As we are 15 minutes in to this session, we're on lap 3 of 6. Gerbo does have the fastest lap despite being outside the top 8. Oh, Andy's gone a little bit wide there. Is that going to close the door a little bit? Or maybe dirty his tyres slightly? Not quite, not quite. So Andy had a pretty anonymous race 1. He's completely in all the action in race 2. And all of the action we were kind of denied in race 1. It was a bit boring, not gonna lie. We are getting a lot of action here. Well, mainly because of the mistakes everyone's making. Doors being left open, left, right, and center. This is the steep incline, full throttle, only one real line through it. Which is the worst time for your teammate to try and catch up with you and request to overtake you. So that request was denied. Oh, Andy's off track there, and is he going to come back on? So he comes back on, I managed to get past, Jack doesn't. There's all sorts of screeching going on behind. That's great news for me. I get up into P4. Oh, and I get it all wrong in that corner, which gives everyone a bit of a run. Now it's 3 wide, Jack's on the grass, I protect the inside line, Jack actually loses out to Owen in all that. Andy's gone very wide, he's going to get overtaken by everyone by the looks of things. Chris is on the grass. It's all going off. Gerbo gets 2 free places, not even by overtaking anybody. Andy manages to keep P7. Jack is in P6, Owen P5, and I have managed to actually gain in all that, and I've managed to get into P4. And that's given Woozy a bit of breathing space. As other people have started making mistakes instead of him. Yeah, oh, there I am, off track and off track again. I've got front damage, tyres damage. Jack does get past me this time. Actually, he doesn't. He needs to get a move on getting past me. There's the inside, go on. And then I rejoin just ahead of Andy, but he should be able to get past with all this damage that I've got. Yeah, he does. Now I'm blocking off Gerbo. Is that gonna even work? Probably not. I'll leave the door open a bit for him. He gets through. Is Chris gonna get through? Not quite. The cars seem to be glued to the side of each other, going side by side through this really tricky section of the track. Very, very messy few corners for me. So I've gone down 4 places in the space of maybe like half a minute. Now I've got Chris once again all over the back of me, but instead of fighting further up the field, we're fighting for P8. And Hims has managed to catch up as well, so top 10, well, second to 10th is all wide open. Payan seems to be pretty far ahead of everyone else though. Should be a fairly straightforward overtake for Chris here. Especially if he can get into the slipstream of Andy just ahead of him. Absolute drag race down this straight. It doesn't look like anyone else is trying an overtake down here at the moment. And I've managed to keep the spot, actually, as Payan does come into the pits. So we'll join him and see where he comes back out in a moment. I'm not sure how many other drivers will be pitting this lap. Owen's pit. Oh, Vantage has come in as well. Andy and Chris has come in as well. Probably wanting some clear air. This is really good news for me. I've just got some clear air to put in one more good lap before I pit for softs. Gerbo is all over the back of Jack now. In what could be a pivotal little battle here. Let's just have a quick look. Woozy and DDK comfortable. Payan is still in the pits. Really, really long pit stop, and he's going to come out. It looks like P6 on softs, mediums. Okay, I was going to say. Then Owen is just coming out now. Chris as well, all managing to avoid penalties. But let's rejoin this battle between Jack and Gerbo. Really lovely up the hill, very fast double left-hander going through right here, and then another steep incline, full throttle. The Nismo has great grip through this part of the track, so even though it doesn't have the best straight line speed, it manages to maintain its really high speed compared to a car like the BMW, which is the complete opposite. It has great acceleration, but its grip has a lot left to be desired, and it slides through corners a lot more. Joe still has the fastest lap. So Jack's actually pulling away a little bit from Gerbo. Gerbo has used a lot more of his tyre life, and that might be coming into play right now. Gives Jack some nice breathing space. Both use pretty much the same amount of fuel as well. Let's give DDK a little bit of love. He's leading the race. I don't know if this is the first race he's led this season. It feels like it. Definitely has the pace to be competing right at the front of the grid. I wouldn't rule against him getting a win at some point towards, well, maybe even today. Or if not today, definitely in the second half of the season. Let's see what's happening with Tap. So he says he's on the mediums now. So well, he is really far away, so maybe he was on the wets. Refract has a 3-second penalty, so he's come into the pits and put on the hard tyres. Not advisable. You don't need hard tyres in Group 3 in ALR, basically. They're pretty useless. Oh, DDK's lost it. Oh, is he going to hold it? Yeah, he manages to hold on to it. Oh no, he's off again, and he's back on. And he's managed to control it a little bit, but he'll be kicking himself for that. He was doing really well as he's sliding out of that corner as well. But he's got such a lead over Woozy, as you can see, that it's going to help him a little bit here. And Woozy's getting caught pretty quickly by Jack now. Jack and Gerbo. As Woozy goes really wide, you don't want to be taking that kind of line through that corner. You want to be on the gradient. You want to be on the harder concrete that is a different colour. It gives you extra grip and helps you slingshot out of that corner. So we might actually lose this position before the end of the lap when they all have to make their pit stops. Yeah, Jack all over the back of him, and this is going to allow Gerbo to get all over the back as well. Woozy's tyres are completely gone, and that is why He's got a lap too long. That AMG is not the friendliest on its tyres. It's been a recurring problem for these drivers, these AMG drivers this season across the tiers. And Jack actually goes around the outside with the superior grip, gets the move done incredibly easily. And he'll be hoping that Woozy does him a favour and doesn't let Gerbo pass at any time soon. But it does feel like just a matter of time here. Oh, he goes off. Then he rejoins. He's actually still pretty close. Oh dear. And he's off, and he's got a bit of damage as well. That's going to give... Oh, it's a really bad time of the race to for that to have happened. He's about to go on the straight, and he's not going to be able to hit his top speed here. Oh no, Woozy's off track as well. Really messy few corners. This is great for Jack. Might be putting him in for win contention, really. The damage has come off Gerbo's car, and Woozy hasn't managed to create a gap. So it's probably going to leave him a sitting duck. Oh, gets a little bit wobbly, but he is going to get the move done. There I am in the distance, and Owen seems to be the highest placed driver who's pit. So Pyan must have had a problem somewhere. As these top 5 are all going to go into the pits, so I won't follow them into the pits. Let's join Owen, who just has Chris just ahead of him. Let's see if Owen will be the race leader or if DDK can come out in front of him. These two, well, he has a lap on the softs though, which is really going to help Owen out compared to DDK here. But is Chris going to have a look? Owen manages to defend really well. This is where he stole P4 from me on the very last couple of moments of the sprint race, so he does know how to take this corner really effectively. Looks like DDK might be coming out just in front. Oh, and he's into the wall though, and that's going to gift Owen. Oh no. Oh dear, and he goes from first to third just like that because he wasn't in control fully of his car. But he does have a good chance for a podium here if he can keep hold of it. Jack is in P4 after his pit stop on very fresh softs. Gerbo is in P5, so he's got some work to do if he wants to get on the podium. Him's P6 after Andy Winters goes off. Woozy P7, Andy is now in P8, Pyan in P9, and I am in 10th, chasing down the medium shod car. Everyone's really close here. Let's just have a look. Gerbo is on the softs, yeah. So everyone on the softs apart from Pyan, so let's just see if Pyan can hold me off, essentially. He goes very wide there, so that's going to leave the door open. He's going to be, look how slow he is on this climb up the hill. He's just not enjoying those medium tyres at all. Looks like I'm going to have a look down the left in Death Corner. Get the move done before the corner, actually. And I have Andy just in front of me there. He's on more worn tyres. But let's follow. Him seems to be just ahead of Woozy. So Woozy's dropped down in all this. He was in top 3 comfortably all race, and now he's down in 7th. And Pyan's dropped down as well. And all of a sudden, apart from DDK, it is the quickest drivers on the track in the top 5 in terms of form for Nordschleife anyway. But yeah, the top guys seem to be pretty far away from each other, apart from Chris, who is all over the back of Owen. So we'll stay with this little battle for the lead. Jack seems to be catching DDK pretty quickly here as well. We're all pretty close though. Any mistake in this top 5 will probably drop them to the back of this group. And based on how the race has gone so far, there's going to be a few mistakes before the end of the race. Chris tries to have a look down the inside, but he has to back out of it. It wasn't really a move that was on. As we're going to go up the hill now. Yeah, top 5 are quite far ahead of everyone else. Owen controlling this race really well here. And pitting that lap earlier at the moment is paying dividends for Owen. And Chris, they both pitted a lap earlier, got the undercut done on everybody. But the final lap of the race will be painful for them. They probably will end the race on red tyres. Chris could be on for a double win here. He definitely has the pace for it. He needs to just get past Owen. But also, he's probably hoping that DDK holds up Jack behind him, because Jack seems to be all over the back of DDK at the moment as well. DDK will definitely be putting up a fight though to get his first podium of the season. None of these drivers have put a foot wrong for quite a while. They'll have fresh softs though as it stands, so much more comfortable driving on these than the mediums at the start of the race. And that 6:32.8 that Turbo has, the fastest lap, will surely go to someone else this lap. Probably Owen or Chris, because they are on their first fly lines. Oh, Chris gets really wide. He goes into the gravel a little bit there. Is that going to open the door? Turbo gets past Jack as well. What happened? Oh, Jack absolutely clatters the wall. Loads of damage, red tyres. Oof, really bad. So that puts him out of contention for the win. Gifts Gerbo another spot. He just seems to be cruising past people who are making mistakes at the moment. And he's going to be catching, well, this group of 4 is all really close together. Oh, what's happened to Owen? What happened to Owen? Our leader. I had to say that no one had any mistakes for a while, and yeah, there's Chris who goes off slightly, and then straight after, Owen doesn't go on the bank. Chris gets past. DDK's right behind him. DDK's going to challenge, get past quite easily. Turbo, is he going to be able to? No. And now we are on to the long straight, and Owen has damage. So this will be Turbo, who is quite far behind in 5th place, has just been gifted a spot on the podium. He hasn't had to do any real overtake so far in this race. Jack is miles behind this battle of 4 as well. Owen doesn't have damage anymore, so he could potentially exploit the slipstream here at his favourite overtaking spot at the end of the straight, if his car has enough beans. DDK's close right up to Chris as well, so the challenge for the win is definitely on. Any of these 4 drivers I'd say could win here. As we enter our final lap. Chris under enormous pressure from DDK. great performance from DDK here. Owen's falling a little bit back off these top three as well. Tyres definitely starting to go off. And none of them managed to even get the fastest lap there. Chris on a 33.4, so 0.6 off the fastest lap. And he's on lap older tyres than DDK and Gerbo behind him. Managing to defend incredibly well here, Chris. DDK is all over the back of him. DDK's getting more pressure from Gerbo behind him as well. We're going to stick with this battle. There's probably all sorts going on behind, but it's an incredible battle for the victory. Everyone's so close together. Ooh, Chris has managed to keep hold of P1. DDK did make a move around the inside, but just couldn't get it done. He's having another sniff. Really difficult part of the track to get an overtake done, so don't blame him for backing out of it there, because it could have ended in tears. Chris's tyres, his rear left is almost completely gone. It will be by the end of the lap. DDK's tyres are very fresh. He can just drive as aggressively as he wants on this final lap. As we approach the final corner before the steep uphill full throttle sequence. Owen's finally catching up a little bit, but Jack is way too far back. Gerbo gets a move done on DDK in a very ambitious part of the track. Really impressed that that managed to happen without a hitch. Now he's going to be all over the back of Chris himself now. That was maybe a pivotal overtake in the race, getting that move done, because there's not many overtaking spots until the straight now, and we've got plenty of corners before that happens. Chris driving incredibly composed here. Still the favourite for a double win, which would be the second double win of the season, and a second double win for the Porsche team of the season. But he has probably 20-ish corners left, maybe more actually. DDK's dropped right off the back of them now as well. Looks like he might be consolidating third place, just driving carefully. Oh, he's going for it. even before the straight. And he's got the move done incredibly cleanly. Great piece of driving there from Turbo to take the lead of the race for the first time. And all of a sudden, he just needs to... Oh, Chris is going to try... Well, he's going to be around the outside to do that. Chris just needs to tuck up behind him and get the slipstream. Allow DDK to close back up as well. So is Chris going to be able to... He's pretty close. He could definitely take advantage of the slipstream, but he's not currently in the slipstream. He needs to get right behind Turbo. But instead, he's... Is he running out of fuel? Is that what's happening? Yep, he's had to slow right down, handing the win, really, to Turbo, who is getting... Yeah, Chris is also going to get past here by... Well, Owen's fallen back as well. Chris is all the way back in 5th now. DDK looks like he's going to come home in P2, which is a great result for him. Turbo looks like he's going to get the very first win of his ALR career on his 5th race. It didn't take too long. Fantastic drive we've got on our hands here. In the BMW, first place Turbo, second place DDK, third place Jack, who's managed to take advantage of a mistake from Owen somewhere down the line to take 4th. Chris, protecting fuel, is going to get 5th place. Woozy P6. Hims will cross the line in 7th. Payan in 8th, all really Harry in the back of him. I'm going to be 9th place. Ben will be in 10th. Completely dead tyres there. That's Andy, sorry. Andy in 10th. Ben is a long way back in 11th. Let's just fast forward a little bit so we don't have to wait too long to see where he finishes. Tap, again, is another one who's miles back. Completely out of fuel as well. So, wow, race to forget for Tap. Wet tyres and out of fuel. And Refract. It's miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Andy's in the... Well, Andy got timed out. There you go. He didn't actually finish. So that's it. That is the feature race for Tier 2. Thanks for watching.